Seniors, stop eating 7 worst fruits. They are destroying your leg strength. Have you ever wondered why your legs feel weaker even though you're eating healthy, staying active, and doing all the right things? Why does climbing stairs feel harder? Why do you need to push a little more just to get out of a chair? Is it just aging, or could something else be quietly working against you? Here's the surprising truth. It's not always what you're missing. Sometimes it's what you're already eating. Fruits you thought were healthy can actually make your legs weaker, cause knee pain, and even increase inflammation in your joints and muscles, making walking more difficult. Most seniors make this mistake without knowing it. We've been told our whole lives that all fruits are good for use, and while many are, some are simply not suited for aging bodies. In fact, they can gradually chip away at your strength, mobility, and balance, all without any obvious warning signs. As we get older, our metabolism slows, our circulation weakens, and our joints become more sensitive. Certain fruits that once helped us may now be causing more harm than good. They may look innocent and taste sweet, but some are packed with sugars, acids, and compounds that silently raise blood sugar, worsen inflammation, and stress the very muscles you rely on for walking, standing, and moving comfortably. The damage is subtle at first. Maybe it's a dull ache in your thighs, a tightness in your knees, or sore calves after just a short stroll. Then one day, it hits you, your legs just aren't what they used to be. In today's video, we're uncovering 7 of the worst fruits seniors over 60 should avoid if you want to protect your leg strength, avoid long-term joint damage, and stay mobile, independent, and pain-free for years to come. These aren't exotic fruits or strange imports. These are everyday fruits that many seniors eat every single week, believing they're helping their health when they could be doing the opposite. So if you care about your strength and stability, stick with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at your fruit bowl the same way again. Before we dive in, tell me where you're tuning in from today. I'd love to know. Drop a comment below and ask any questions you have while you're here. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health-saving tip right here from Forever Health 247. And if this message resonates with you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Either way, I'm truly glad you're here. Now let's take a closer look at the 7 worst fruits that could be silently weakening your legs every time you eat them. Let's begin with the first fruit on our list, one that's often praised for its supposed healing powers, yet may be quietly working against aging bodies: pineapple. Tropical, juicy, and refreshing, pineapple has long been celebrated for its anti-inflammatory effects, thanks to a natural enzyme called bromelain. But here's the twist: while younger folks might benefit from it, for seniors, pineapple could be doing the opposite. As we age, our bodies handle sugar and acid differently, and pineapple has plenty of both. Beneath its sweet, sunny surface lies a concentrated dose of natural sugar that hits the bloodstream fast, causing sharp blood sugar spikes. Now, imagine the small, delicate blood vessels in your legs and feet, already more sensitive with age, being overwhelmed. That sudden sugar surge can damage these vessels over time, reducing circulation and oxygen flow to the muscles. The result? Heaviness, swelling, and aching legs after even a short walk. Maybe you felt that dull, dragging ache when standing, or stiffness in your knees after sitting for a while. For some seniors, the connection isn't obvious, but it's there. It doesn't stop with sugar. Pineapple is also highly acidic, and that acid can be a real irritant for joints, especially if you're already living with arthritis or chronic inflammation. For many, pineapple seems to amplify the burning sensation in the hips, ankles, or knees. One woman I spoke to shared that after enjoying her daily pineapple smoothie, she started noticing her legs felt heavy, as if her strength was slowly slipping away. She thought it was just aging until she cut the pineapple out and began to feel lighter, and more mobile within days. There's also another layer of concerned drug interactions. If you're on blood thinners or other medications, bromelain in pineapple can interfere, either intensifying or dulling their effects. But perhaps the most dangerous part is this: there's no dramatic warning sign. Pineapple doesn't cause a sudden reaction. Instead, it quietly builds up, and one day, you might realize you're not moving like you used to. The real tragedy? Most seniors never suspect the vibrant fruit they believe is helping their health could be part of what's weakening their legs year after year. So what should you do? It's not about banning pineapple forever. It's about being aware. If you've been battling unexplained swelling, persistent leg pain, or sluggishness, it may be time to look at your fruit bowl a little more carefully. Pineapple might not be the friend it appears to be, especially if your legs are already asking for relief. And if pineapple, the so-called anti-inflammatory fruit, can cause this much silent strain, just wait until you hear about the next fruit. It's soft, sweet, and known for boosting potassium and muscle strength, but it may also be deceiving you in ways you never expected. Now let's talk about the second fruit on our list. Bananas, often seen as the ultimate muscle food. Soft, sweet, and packed with potassium, bananas have long been praised for preventing cramps, boosting energy, and supporting muscle function. But for older adults, the story may not be so simple. Bananas are high in natural sugars and fast-digesting carbohydrates, which means that shortly after eating one, your blood sugar spikes. Over time, repeated spikes can lead to insulin resistance, which weakens circulation and triggers inflammation. And when circulation declines, your legs feel it first. Maybe you've noticed a dull soreness when walking up the stairs, or heaviness in your legs after a meal even if you didn't walk much. That lingering stiffness in your calves? It could be your body quietly responding to what you just ate. But it doesn't end there. Bananas can also cause fluid retention, especially in those with heart issues or compromised kidney function. This added fluid can lead to swollen feet, stiff joints, and puffiness around the ankles. The impact is slow and silent. You eat bananas thinking they're helping your muscles, but in reality, they may be quietly draining your strength. One man I spoke with, a retired school teacher, told me how he made bananas part of his daily breakfast to fight off leg cramps. But after months of struggling with unexplained swelling and stiffness, his doctor suggested cutting them out. Within a couple of weeks, the puffiness eased and his legs felt lighter. The hardest part is recognizing the connection. Bananas don't cause sharp, immediate pain. They chip away at mobility gradually, making it harder to move freely and adding to discomfort over time. So if you're someone who experiences heavy, aching, or swollen legs, it might be worth rethinking that daily banana. Fruits can be nourishing, yes, but for seniors, not all fruits serve the same purpose anymore. And if a large fruit like a banana can do this much unnoticed damage, what if something even smaller is having an even greater effect? Coming up next is a fruit that seems innocent, tiny, colorful, and often recommended for heart health. But it may be the very thing aggravating your joints and quietly sabotaging your balance. Let's keep going, because what you learned today may just be the key to stronger legs and a steadier step tomorrow. Now let's turn our attention to the third fruit, one that seems far too small to cause any trouble: grapes. They look innocent enough, tiny, juicy, easy to pop into your mouth as a snack. With their rich supply of antioxidants, grapes have earned a glowing reputation for being heart healthy. But here's what most people don't know. For many older adults, grapes can quietly trigger inflammation, especially in the legs. The culprit? A natural sugar called fructose, which grapes contain in surprisingly high amounts. Unlike other sugars, fructose is processed directly by the liver, where it can be converted into fat and uric acid. And when the liver can't keep up, which becomes more common with age, that uric acid starts to build up in the joints, especially in the toes, ankles, and knees. If you've ever felt a burning sensation in your big toe at night or unexplained stiffness in your calves when you first get out of bed, it might not be just aging. It could be the grapes you snacked on earlier. I remember a gentleman named Harold, 72 years old, who loved to sit on his porch in the afternoon with a bowl of grapes. He thought it was a healthy treat until he noticed that walking became more painful and his toes throbbed at night. After removing grapes from his routine, he was surprised by how much lighter and more comfortable his steps became. And here's the tricky part: grapes are easy to overeat. They're small, sweet, and refreshing. Before you know it, you've eaten 2 or 3 cups, and that sugar adds up fast. Even though they seem light, grapes can fuel chronic inflammation, making your joints stiff, your steps slower, and your legs feel less reliable. The sugar hides behind the fruit's sweet, hydrating taste, but the effects linger long after the snack is gone. If you've been enjoying grapes regularly and also noticing more swelling or tightness in your legs, it might not be a coincidence. And grapes aren't the only seemingly innocent fruit that can work against your legs. Up next is one that's bright, hydrating, and loved in the summer. It feels refreshing, almost like water, but on the inside, it behaves like sugar. Don't be fooled by how light it tastes. This next fruit may be quietly draining your energy and stiffening your stride without you even realizing it. Let's keep going, because the more you understand what's really happening on your plate, the more power you gain over your health, strength, and independence. Now let's talk about the 4th fruit: watermelon. It's light, refreshing, and for many, it feels like the perfect way to hydrate on a warm day. Watermelon is often seen as the very symbol of summer, a safe, low-calorie, water-rich snack. But what if this fruit, loved for its juiciness and cool bite, is secretly working against your legs? Strange as it may sound, watermelon has a very high glycemic index, which means it can spike your blood sugar almost as fast as candy. And for seniors, those frequent spikes can cause real trouble, especially in the lower body. When blood sugar rises quickly, the body responds by releasing insulin, but as we age, our ability to regulate insulin weakens. The result? Inflammation, especially in areas with already poor circulation like the calves, ankles, and knees. Many older adults don't realize the connection. One woman I spoke to, named Alice, 68, shared how she started eating watermelon daily during the summer to stay hydrated. But she noticed her legs began to feel heavy after lunch, and walking the dog felt harder than usual. She even experienced persistent ankle swelling. When she cut back on watermelon, her discomfort eased significantly. That's because although watermelon feels light and watery, inside the body, it acts more like sugar than hydration. It may not seem harmful at first after all. It's just fruit, but with every extra slice, you're adding more sugar, increasing inflammation, and straining circulation. Over time, the legs begin to feel it: fatigue after short walks, dull aches, and that odd stiffness when climbing stairs that makes it feel like you're hiking uphill. So ask yourself, is watermelon really hydrating you? Or is each juicy bite slowly wearing down your strength? If your legs have been feeling unusually tired or swollen, it might be worth rethinking this summertime favorite. And as we move forward, the next fruit we'll explore is one that's often tied to vitamin C, immune-boosting juices, and healthy breakfast routines. It's a staple in the diets of many older adults, yet it may be delivering a sharp acidic blow to your joints without you even realizing it. Let's take a closer look, because the truth behind these healthy fruits could change the way you feel, walk, and live each day. Now let's talk about the 5th fruit, one that wears the bright badge of health and wellness: oranges. They're everywhere in breakfast platters, juices, supplements, and for good reason. Packed with vitamin C, oranges are often praised for boosting the immune system. But behind their sunny scent and sweet tart flavor lies a truth many seniors aren't told. Oranges can quietly aggravate your joints, especially as you get older. That vibrant citrus glow comes from citric acid, and while it may seem harmless, this acid can be especially harsh on aging joints. If you're over 60 and already dealing with inflammation, stiffness, or arthritis, the acid in oranges may be doing more harm than good. You might feel it as a subtle stiffness in the knees when you wake up, persistent hip pain after sitting too long, or that familiar soreness in your legs that creeps in after a short walk. It's easy to assume it's just aging. But here's the twist. Your daily glass of orange juice meant to nourish you could actually be fueling the very pain you're trying to prevent. The citric acid in oranges doesn't just stay in your stomach. It enters your bloodstream and can irritate sensitive joint tissues, especially in those with slower circulation and existing joint inflammation. On top of that, the fruit's natural sugars can spike blood sugar levels, adding to systemic inflammation. The result? Every step may start to feel heavier, your knees and ankles may ache more frequently, and your legs may swell slightly without you knowing why. I once spoke to a woman named Grace, 74, who started each morning with a tall glass of orange juice. It was part of her wellness routine, but she couldn't understand why her knees felt stiffer each week or why her walks became shorter. Once she cut back on citrus and replaced it with low-acid fruits, she felt a noticeable difference in her mobility within just a few weeks. And that's the hardest part of trying to do something good for your health, only to discover that the habit may be working against you. Oranges may not cause harm for younger folks with fast metabolism and resilient joints, but for aging bodies, the story changes. So what comes next? The next fruit on our list may look even safer: green, crisp, low in sugar. It's often chosen as the healthy alternative. But don't let appearances fool you. This fruit may be quietly causing nighttime cramps, stiff knees, and aching hips. Let's uncover what's really hiding beneath its crisp skin, because every fruit choice you make matters more than ever. Now let's take a closer look at green apples, the sixth fruit on our list, and one that many believe to be the healthier choice. With their crisp bite, clean look, and less sugary taste, green apples are often seen as the smarter alternative, especially for older adults trying to avoid sweet snacks. But despite their reputation, green apples may be quietly contributing to leg pain, fatigue, and joint stiffness in seniors. You see, there are two hidden culprits in green apples: malic acid and natural sugars. Malic acid gives green apples their signature sour flavor, but for aging digestive systems and joint tissues, it can be surprisingly harsh. As we grow older, our gut lining becomes more delicate, and what once felt refreshing can now irritate digestion and inflame joints. Some seniors report deep, unexplained aches in their hips or thighs after eating apples. Others describe a warm, burning sensation in their feet or stiffness in the knees that creeps in slowly over time. The tricky part is that these symptoms often go unnoticed at first until they build up and become a regular part of everyday discomfort. And then there's the sugar. While green apples may not taste as sweet as their red cousins, they still contain natural sugars enough to spike blood sugar levels, especially in those with slower metabolisms. This can lead to midday fatigue, nighttime leg cramps, and that dreaded morning stiffness that makes it harder to get moving. What's even more challenging is that green apples are commonly eaten raw as a quick snack, or even right before bed. That means their effects can linger, subtly wearing down circulation and flexibility without drawing attention. They look so clean and wholesome, but for aging bodies, green apples might actually be making it harder to walk, softening muscle strength, and adding to restless, uncomfortable nights. And if this simple fruit, so often labeled as a health food, can quietly undermine leg strength and energy. Then imagine what could be happening with fruits that are even sweeter, even more acidic, or richer in tropical sugars. The next fruit is just that soft, luscious, and deeply sweet. Loved by many and often blended into smoothies or eaten as a dessert, it's a tropical favorite that might be draining your energy and stiffening your joints without you realizing it. Let's uncover the truth, because the more you understand what's really on your plate, the more power you have to reclaim your strength and protect your independence, one fruit at a time. Now let's talk about the seventh fruit, one that feels like summer, looks harmless, and tastes like candy. The mango. Juicy, golden, and sweet, mangoes are a favorite treat, especially during hot weather. But for older adults, especially those with joint pain or weakness in the legs, mangoes might be doing more harm than good. Why? Because they're a true sugar bomb. And I don't mean a gentle dose of sugar, I mean a surge. One medium mango delivers a heavy hit of natural sugars, which may be fine for a teenager or a marathon runner. But once you're over 60, your body doesn't process sugar the same way. Your metabolism slows, your insulin response weakens, and those sugar spikes begin to trigger inflammation deep within your joints, especially in sensitive areas like your ankles, knees, and hips. Every time that blood sugar rises sharply, your body crashes afterward, creating a storm of inflammation. For some, it's a dull ache in the legs. For others, it's a burning in the toes, a tingling that won't go away, or evening swelling that feels like your legs are filling with cement. One gentleman I spoke to, Harold, 72, used to blend mango into his smoothies daily. He loved the taste, but he couldn't understand why his knees began to stiffen and why he felt heaviness in his legs every afternoon. Once he cut back and swapped mango for berries, he noticed his steps were lighter and his evenings were more comfortable. The tricky part is that mango feels so fresh and light. You may eat more than you realize, but your body doesn't care how it tastes, it reacts to the sugar. And over time, that reaction can mean sluggish walking, unstable balance, and joints that just don't bend like they used to. Many seniors turn to mango believing it's a natural delight, and it is natural. But remember, natural doesn't always mean safe, especially when circulation slows and joint resilience fades. So now that you've seen the full picture, it's clear those 7 fruits, while praised for their health benefits, can quietly chip away at the strength and comfort of your legs, especially after 60. But here's the encouraging part. Just as some fruits can trigger inflammation and fatigue, others have the power to soothe your joints, boost circulation, and restore energy. Let's turn our attention to the fruits that serve your strength, not steal it. First, the mighty berries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, small in size, but mighty in impact. These are rich in antioxidants and naturally low in sugar, helping to fight joint swelling, improve blood flow, and keep your steps steady. Then there's the humble cherry, especially helpful for those suffering from gout or chronic inflammation. A small handful, not a bowl, can help reduce uric acid levels, easing that familiar burning in your knees or toes. And don't forget about avocados. Yes, they're fruits too. Packed with healthy fats, they act like a cushion for your joints while helping to stabilize blood sugar levels, providing long-lasting energy without the crash. If you're craving something tropical, go for papaya. Its natural enzymes are kind to aging digestive systems and reduce inflammation gently, without pushing your body into overdrive. And finally, there's the gentle, juicy pear, mild in flavor, high in fiber, and easy on the blood sugar. I always recommend pairing a sliced pear with a handful of nuts. It's a snack that fuels your body without triggering pain or fatigue. Let me share a quick personal story. A few years ago, I was caring for my aunt in her 70s and had been struggling with constant knee swelling and this heaviness in her legs. She used to start her mornings with pineapple, and end her evenings with mango slices, thinking they were healthy choices. But once we made a simple swap, adding berries to her breakfast, switching to avocado toast, and trading mango for papaya, things began to shift. Within weeks, she felt lighter, her steps grew stronger, and she could finally walk to the mailbox without stopping halfway. It wasn't magic, it was mindful nutrition. The truth is, aging well doesn't require perfection, just better decisions made consistently. Choosing the right fruits isn't just about nutrition, it's about preserving your independence, giving your legs the support to walk farther, your joints the power to rise without groaning, and your mornings the smooth start they once had. Remember, aging doesn't mean giving up, it means getting smarter. It's never too late to turn things around. Not with fads or strict diets, but with simple, loving choices, one meal, one fruit, one empowered step at a time. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What did you learn today, and what's one small change you're ready to make? Share it in the comments. If this message resonated with you, type 1 below. And if it didn't, feel free to type 0. Your feedback matters too. If you found this helpful, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a tip that could protect your strength, your comfort, and your future. Because your legs carry more than your weight, they carry your freedom. Stay strong, stay informed, and above all, stay independent. I sincerely wish you who have supported this video to always be healthy. Just 1 or 2 sentences in this video help your life, I feel satisfied. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and see you in the next videos.